Okay, well, yeah, my kitchen's a little bit of a mess. I've got dishes that need washed, cleaned, whatever you want to call it. I've got trash over here that I need to get lawn bags for. I've got uh, this over here, which really isn't a mess, but I've got this drying before I put it in the washing machine. I've got this cast iron that I've got moved out the way because I had it on the stove top. I need to clean the stove. I've got washer and dryer that work pretty well, though I need to get a brush for the lint trap yet. And the soap is a little tricky to use in here. I've got to pour it into the center there, and it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes because it'll get up into the under the basket and stuff, and not uh, infuse into the water or whatever you want to call it. I need to clean these again, but I keep go-to glasses right here. I keep my go-to plates right here. This is a utility plate. All of this flatware and whatnot I keep here just because, you know, I've got no better place to put it. Dessert spoons are go-to though, and I use these for cooking utensils, these for eating. I've got this knife. This is the only knife that I like from the Ronco Showtime set. It's a little rusty, but I have a rusty eraser and everything. I don't use it often. I use it more for a dessert knife than for anything. I've got these two generic knives, one from Dollar Tree, one from Target, long time ago, that I'm retraining the edges on just because it's easier to keep things maintained that way. Retraining the edges to the same as these. These are Chicago Cutlery Burling set. The only thing I towel dry are woods, and I don't do it like most other people do it. So I bought this the other day so that I can have these out to air dry. Yeah, I use the handkerchiefs for reusable coffee filters. I use this to stand on, sometimes to sit on, but that gets me up into the tall spaces. I'm only like 5'6", 5'5", 5'6". I don't use this very often, only when I'm like reaching way far into the top spaces. But this is the best place for that at the moment, and it's a good place to put things on to dry. Yeah, dirty dishes, and I need to rerun this through the washer again. But yeah, it's kind of a mess. The kitchen's kind of small, and the fridge is smaller on the inside than it looks like it should be. I need to get a second or third freezer. I don't have a lot of space in here for things. This is the inside of my fridge, which is actually pretty good. I need to clean it a little again. I do it kind of semi-regularly. But, and then that's decoration. That's decoration. You know, reusable bottles, so I just put water in there. And that's cold water for anyone who wants cold water. Yeah. Anyway. But it's kind of difficult to clean the freezer sometimes, because like unless the power goes out because of a storm, I've got to go outside to turn the power off to the fridge. I don't have a hand truck or dolly or whatever you want to call it to pull it out to unplug it. So I got to turn the power off to it, and then I got to clean it, and then I got to let it dry out before I turn the power back on to it. It's a pain in the ass. But at least I don't have to defrost it. Oh, I already brought the wipes out. I'm kind of allergic to bleach, so I don't use the Clorox wipes, but I like the Lysol wipes. They work well. I'll show you if it'll unfold. Alright. And then I'll do the large part of the stove top before I pull the inserts out to clean the inserts, because this way, if anything gets inside under the burners, they'll just drop on to the inserts, and then I'll dump the inserts. But it works really well. Here, I need to get weights for the curtain because it's too short, see? But I love that curtain. And it's the curtain that came with the apartment, so I'm not gonna screw with replacing it. I need to get a new liner for it though, something that I can throw in the washer and dryer, because that's due. The liner that came with the apartment is due for cleaning again too. But I love that curtain, so I'll just hang on to it. But yeah, I mean, these wipes work really wonderfully. I use these wipes for damn near everything. I clean my tub with them, I clean my toilet with them, I clean my sinks with them. Well, not the kitchen sink. I don't clean the kitchen sink. I clean the kitchen sink with dish soap and my regular dish sponge, and the toilet's kind of stained. It needs to be cleaned again too, but yeah, but yep, I am 42 years old. I am somewhat depressed. Not because I feel like nobody likes me, but because people don't behave as if they do like me. So it's kind of stands to reason that nobody likes me unless I'm like them, and I don't want to be like them, because they're mean people, and I don't like being mean to anybody. I don't like anyone being mean to anybody. So I live alone. I keep to myself. When I get out, I just go out for myself, for health reasons, or to just cure some boredom maybe. But if there's anyone who's a bird of my feather, they and I will have never met, I figure, because I'm 42 years old and I have yet to meet a bird of my feather. So, but yeah, okay, so got the largeness of everything, and I'll clean the toilet later. But this is really the only good part about electric stoves. But I can use electric, I can use gas, I can use any kind of heating element, because I can kind of hear and smell sometimes, but usually mostly hear when the fire is too high or when the fire is too low. That's something that my mama could do, and she kind of raised me to be able to. But yeah, ooh, these have been due for cleaning for a while. But yeah, so I will put these in here for a moment. For the moment, I will clean those when I clean those. Let's see. All right, so yeah, and then get around the trays, and then sometimes stuff gets down in there anyway. But it's easier to clean an electric stove than it is a gas stove, because gas stoves you gotta turn the gas off in order for it to be safe to reach your hand down inside there and whatnot. And then I'm not gonna mess with cleaning the oven, because I don't use the oven much for anything and I generally clean it up right after I do. So but yeah, these wipes, man, these wipes are wonderful. This stove, though, I don't know if it's in how new a model it is or how old a model it is. But when I do it right, it doesn't take forever for water to boil. And what I've learned it to do, because there was a year when I was staying with someone who did have an older model electric stove, and the instructions for that stove said turn the element on before you put a pan on it. So I let the element preheat, and then I put the pan on it, and it works pretty well. And then I started thinking about it with gas stoves, and I'm like, well, hey, that's a good idea. You know, turn the element on before you put a pan on it, so that you can see without having to bend over and get your nose right up on it. You can see how big the flame is and whatnot. Adjust it before you put the pan on it. And then, of course, you know, if you can hear whether it's too hot or too cool, like my mama raised me to be able to do, then you can monitor it while you're cooking and adjust it without having to bend over and stick your nose on the flame to see what you're doing. But yeah. Wow. Maybe it's a good thing that I picked today to clean my stuff. Okay, well, I'll let that go for a bit. Might as well go ahead and clean the toilet again while I'm got nothing better to do. I've got other people's, Twitch broadcasts on, but I've got chat only so that the audio doesn't come through in this video, and then, but yeah, still not as important as keeping my house clean, huh? So I'll just keep going while I'm waiting for the kitchen stove to dry enough for me to do a little more on it. And then people like to argue about which is better as far as the toilet paper goes, you know, the hanging it away from the wall or toward the wall. And this is my answer. Clean your bathroom. Then it don't matter. You know? And it don't matter. I just put the toilet paper on the roll, right? And however it opens up, that's how it's hung. Kiss my butt, you know. If you want it hung a certain way, either clean my bathroom or bring your own toilet paper, you know. Just plain and simple. And see, this way you've seen that I do clean my bathroom. Okay? So. So there's no question, no reason to argue with me about how I hang my toilet paper or anything, you know? Just let it be. I need to get some, not Windex wipes, because Windex, I don't like the smell of Windex, but glass cleaner wipes for my mirror. That way I get the same effect, but streak free as when I use the I don't clean every day, and you might think that I'm doing this only today because I'm making a video, but you know, if that's what you think, then whatever. My mama kept telling me you never know when you are going to have company. A lot of people like to surprise people, so. Or they've got terrible timing or something, you know, so. Go ahead and do the bowl before I need to get some peroxide. Those stains have been here since before I moved in. I need to get some peroxide so that I can maybe tone them down some. But I mean, a lot of people complain about having to clean toilets and whatnot, and I'm like, man, it's not that big a deal. You know, it's not a. Can't flush this, but you know, if you don't like getting stuff on your hands, you know, that's what hand sanitizer and soap is for. You know, soap and water. You know. I don't like wearing gloves for cleaning because I can't feel textures through gloves, but you know, a lot of people have the mindset, you know, they don't get paid enough to just clean their own damn toilets. You know, so it's beneath them to clean toilets at their place of employment, or to clean up for and then after themselves at public restrooms. You know, people just can't be bothered. But you know, making this video, you're not hearing me go, ew, oh my God, ew, ew, ew. No, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, you know. These wipes help a lot, and then, again, you know, soap and water. Because I got to use soap and water to get this ammonia and stuff off of my hands anyway, or it'll dry my hands out. See? Oops. But, yeah. I mean, and then you're also hearing me say that I need to get things to maybe whiten the porcelain, because I don't like how that looks, but I just can't afford it at the moment. And when I can't afford it, I go to the store and something comes up and You know, that's a life of super low income person. But yeah, see, toilet doesn't look clean because of the stains that have been here since before I was born, but it is clean, I promise. And that's already textured, so pumice isn't going to do any good on those stains. I need to get peroxide and a decent brush. Anyway, and then the sink. Here, let's switch hands real quick so that I can move all of this stuff over to there. Thank you. And then the soaps over here. Okay. But yeah, I mean, and even if I did do this only for the video, I did clean. I do clean. So there. Kiss my butt. Half of that is coffee because I rinsed those handkerchiefs out in here. The other half, of course, is soap, but yeah. But I've got to clean 2 stock pots and put one back in the box because I don't have a place to stow it. But see, when I clean, I do my best to get everything. Everything. I need to get a second shower head so that I can descale the shower head that I have that I've been using for 2 years without having to scale it yet. But and no, I'm not going to show you my inside of my tub at the moment because I need to put some things away. There's some privacy issues, but yeah, so yeah, clean soaps. All right, that is Dove stress relief, whatever. It's got chamomile and oat milk in it, and I use it because one, it cleans well. You know, it doesn't have the antibacterial stuff in it, but you know, it's as antibacterial as Irish Spring would be. You know, washes the stuff away, but also it's good for first aid. It's good for first aid because, like, if you're itching, got mosquito bites or something, or even like burns from cooking, small burns, not burns that you really ought to go to the ER for, but you know, the chamomile and the oat milk just lather it up, spread it on there, and let it sit for a bit. Helps soothe pain, soothe itching. It draws out toxins and whatnot. This is lava, and a lot of people might use it like you would regular soap, but it ought to be used like pumice. Wet the hand that you're, or the part that you're trying to degrease, and then scrub the bar onto it. Don't wet the bar completely, just, you know. But anyway, yeah, so that's the bathroom. These clippers are waterproof, so I keep them there to dry for when I rinse them off, the hair off, and then I use the nail clippers in the shower so that the nails go down the drain and not all over the place. And I put deodorant on directly after the shower. I don't wait to put deodorant on. Every shower, directly after I dry off, I put the deodorant on and get dressed. Every shower. And then, but yeah. And then the tweezers are mainly for preening, meaning like wild hairs in my eyebrows or something. If I don't hit my eyebrows with this, I'll pluck the hairs with those or something. Or like first aid, if I've got splinters or something, I use the tweezers. But and then actually the toothpaste that I use the most is the Crest with Scope, just because it's cost effective, you know. It's cheap enough, and it does everything that I need for it to do. My teeth have always been jammed too close together for me to be able to floss, and using the Crest kind of helps to break up some of the stuff between my teeth sometimes. And I really got to hit the side of this cabinet again. But yeah, so. And then most of the streaking on my mirror is just because I get toothpaste on it, and these wipes don't do well with removing the toothpaste. But yeah. And again, yeah, I use these wipes for cleaning the tub too. Works great for soap scum and everything. Just and it's gentle on the paint and everything too. Unless you're like using elbow grease, you don't need to use elbow grease on everything. But so that's cleaning the bathroom. I'll get behind the towels again some other time. I just did that this morning. I'll hit the top of this one more time. I'll clean those inserts later. I keep my cast iron in the oven because I've got no better place to keep it. The dust and stuff doesn't get on there and ruin the seasoning or anything, and I need to change the towels out, but having towels on there keeps the seasoning that stays on the cast iron from going rancid and stale and stuff. So, well, correction, the cast iron that doesn't have lids I keep in the oven. My chili pot, what I like to call my chili pot, which is like a deep 13-inch skillet, has a lid, and I keep that in the cupboard. But so, yep, I am 43 years old. I will forever be single, because if there is any bird of my feather to have for a partner, for me to have for a partner, either she and I will never meet, or she will choose the other culture anyway, because that's just how people are, man. The other culture looks fun and successful and whatnot, and I just haven't had a fair chance yet. That's all. But yep, I'll get that stuff done later, and that is my kitchen and my bathroom, and yep, my little workspace here for the kitchen. And sometimes I use these handkerchiefs to wipe my soft steel knives down too, because acids and stuff kind of don't help with keeping them sharp, keeping them good. But yep, someday I'll show you the different bevels that I use, that I work with, and I'll maybe start doing cooking streams or broadcasts or whatever you want to call them someday, soon. I don't know, we'll see. Again, that I use this for it's empty right now, but when I make powdered milk, that's a quart, and I put half the quart in there and use the other half immediately. So, and then I put that bottle in the fridge. But yeah, I have towels on the workstation, all kinds of towels on the workstation, because if I put a cutting board on the towel, and the cutting board doesn't slide around so much. But anyway, so yeah, variety of chopsticks in case I ever do have company over, or like a date over, and whichever they feel most comfortable with, it's available, and this whole plate is gonna go on the central table as soon as I get one, and I want to get 5 of the same table, and it just kind of spread around. Right now I'm eating, my dinner's over there in the corner. I've got the TV there that I don't use for anything but a computer monitor, really. Though I do have an antenna. I keep my Pixel phone on the corner there and whatnot, and then I just watch whatever on the Pixel phone while I'm eating. I have my Toshiba laptop right there for use for budgeting and stuff, and then my Fender Teufel speaker right there that I don't use for much, but it makes it you know, the Halocene, yeah, more dishes. The Halocene album, When Love Dies, from the vinyl sounds wonderful through my Fender Teufel speaker there. And those jeans, I don't wear them long enough when I have them on for them to get all that dirty, so I just, you know, but yeah. Anyway, oh, my coffee bar. I've got Hamilton Beach FlexBrew Trio. This part does both ground coffee, regular drip coffee for a single serve, or it'll do the K-Cups, and then this will do the Nespresso pot capsules. So what I like to do so far is get the Cafe Bustelo medium roast, which is good on its own and in the way I'm about to describe. And I'll do like a 10 brew, 10 ounce into a 16 ounce vessel, and then I'll put 2 2/3 ounces of this in it. So kind of like a red eye or a cold car or whatever you want to call it at home. It's nice. It's really nice. It's really nice. My toaster, I don't use my toaster much. I prefer doing it on the toasting things on the grill. I just don't melt butter on the stove top very often, and I have this for tea. Have that for tea. This is where my Tia Shin is. Viet green tea. And then Maple's Pet Dinosaur is an Australian band. They're pretty new to the scene. They've got 2 songs out now. One's called Lego, Block 'em Like Lego, and then there's another one that they've got. I can't think of it offhand, but off the top of my head. But you know, they're soon to come out with more. There's one of my kind of logos, I guess you could call it, and then what the call sign would have been. My call sign would have been if I'd been able to stay in the Navy. If I had felt the bystanders would have been safe if I'd been stayed in the Navy. And then the finalized versions of what you might call my logos right there. And then, but yeah, yep. She is no longer doing cosplay. She's a dressmaker now, or was for a while. I don't know if she's still doing that or not. Berlin, Germany. I have that on there as kind of a perpetual calendar type thing. But there's an autograph on there somewhere. That's why I have it up. And then, yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of silly goose. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, I guess.